In the annals of European royalty, few figures are as enigmatic and captivating as Empress Elisabeth of Austria-Hungary, often known by her affectionate nickname, Sisi. A woman of unparalleled beauty, a free spirit trapped within the rigid confines of court life, her story is one of both glamour and profound sadness. But it was on a seemingly ordinary day in September 1898 that her life and an era came to a shocking and abrupt end, forever etched into history by a single, desperate act. Today, we delve into the tragic assassination of Empress Elisabeth, exploring the events that led to it, the moment itself, and its lasting impact. Born a Bavarian duchess in 1837, Elisabeth was thrust into the spotlight at the tender age of 16 when she married her cousin, Emperor Franz Joseph I. What seemed like a fairy tale union quickly revealed itself to be a gilded cage for the spirited young woman. Elisabeth yearned for freedom, for nature, and for a life unburdened by the stifling etiquette of the Habsburg court. She found solace in poetry, in rigorous exercise, and in extensive travels, often seeking to escape the public eye and the pressures of her imperial role. Her legendary beauty, meticulously maintained, became both a shield and a burden. Despite her outward appearance of grace and elegance, Elisabeth was deeply melancholic, haunted by personal tragedies, including the death of her young daughter Sophie, and most devastatingly, the suicide of her only son, Crown Prince Rudolf, in the Mayerling incident of 1889. These losses deepened her reclusiveness and her disdain for court life, making her increasingly detached from her duties and the world around her. The man who would end Empress Elisabeth's life was Luigi Luciani, a 25-year-old Italian anarchist. Luciani was not driven by a personal vendetta against the Empress. Instead, he sought to make a statement, to strike a blow against the aristocracy and the established order. He had initially planned to assassinate Prince Henri of Orléans, but the prince changed his travel plans. Desperate to carry out an act of political violence, Luciani, upon reading a newspaper report, learned that Empress Elisabeth was in Geneva, traveling incognito under the name Countess of Hohenems. For Luciani, any royal or aristocratic figure would suffice as a target to further his anarchist cause. He saw Elisabeth not as an individual, but as a symbol of the oppressive system he despised. On the afternoon of September 10, 1898, Empress Elisabeth, accompanied by her lady-in-waiting, Countess Stare, was enjoying a stroll along the promenade by Lake Geneva. They were on their way to board a steamboat, the Genève, to Montreux. It was a beautiful, clear day, and Elisabeth, as was her custom, was dressed simply, carrying only a parasol. As they walked, Luigi Luciani suddenly lunged forward. In a swift, almost imperceptible movement, he thrust a sharpened, three-sided needle file, typically used for sharpening tools, into Elisabeth's chest. The attack was so quick and seemingly innocuous that Elisabeth initially felt only a sharp blow, believing she had merely been punched. She even continued walking a few steps before collapsing. Countess Stare and others rushed to her aid. Unaware of the severity of her injury, they helped her onto the steamboat. It was only then that her corset was loosened, revealing a small, almost invisible puncture wound. The file had pierced her heart, causing internal bleeding. Despite efforts to revive her, Empress Elisabeth died shortly after being carried back to her hotel, the Beau Rivage, at approximately 2:40 p.m. She was 60 years old. The assassination sent shockwaves across Europe. The death of Empress Elisabeth, a beloved if reclusive figure, sparked widespread mourning and outrage. Her husband, Emperor Franz Joseph, was devastated, reportedly stating, "You will never know how much I love this woman." Luigi Luciani was quickly apprehended, and far from showing remorse, he gloried in his crime. He was tried and sentenced to life in prison, as the death penalty had been abolished in Geneva. He was found hanged in his cell in 1910. Empress Elisabeth's assassination marked the end of an era. It was a stark reminder of the growing political instability and social unrest that would ultimately lead to the outbreak of World War I just a few years later. Today, Elisabeth's legacy endures. She is remembered not just for her beauty and her tragic end, but for her independent spirit, her love of poetry, and her constant struggle for personal freedom in a world that sought to confine her. Her story continues to fascinate and inspire, a timeless tale of a woman who dared to be different, even in the face of immense pressure and personal sorrow. The assassination of Empress Elisabeth was a senseless act of violence that cut short the life of a complex and captivating woman. Her death was not just a personal tragedy, but a historical turning point, a harbinger of the turbulent times to come. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the life and death of Empress Elisabeth. If you found this video informative, please like, share, and subscribe for more stories from the pages of history. And let us know in the comments below what historical event you'd like us to explore next.